this week I wanted to kind of talk about another farmhouse living thing, which you might see more of, I think I mentioned, as the winter goes on. I am still trying to work on the house project, but obviously more time will be spent indoors. I'm glad to be working on the house still into the winter. I wasn't sure if I could do that, but this is the farthest into the winter that I say winter. Winter doesn't start until next week, so we are still technically in the fall, but this is the latest into the fall that I've ever worked on the house. So, but I enjoy sharing content with you guys, and like I said a couple weeks ago, like I want to give you a bigger picture of like why I care about having a farmhouse and some of the other pieces to that rather than just the house. So I wanted to talk about tallow balm. You might have caught a little short that I did on making tallow balm a couple weeks ago. So I thought I'd real quick just show you what I have and then kind of explain like the point of it. So basically I made two different types of tallow balm. The actual recipe for the tallow and the oils you add to it are the same. The only difference is that the essential oils that I added. So this one here, I made to use for my face primarily. And the essential oils that I chose were for my face. So frankincense, lavender, and lemon. Probably a lot of you know that lavender is good for a lot of skin issues, very soothing. So for any redness and that kind of thing, that's great. Lemon is like a brightener, so that's nice for your skin, especially on your face. And then frankincense is just a really good healing oil, and really good at like rejuvenating. So that combination is often used for skincare and particularly for face care. And as you're aging, all of those things help with that as well. So yeah, it smells really nice. And then the other one that I made is more of just a body balm, but again, tallow. Yeah, it smells so good. So this one, being that it's winter time, fall time, but going into the winter, I wanted something that kind of smelled warmer and cozy. You wouldn't have to use essential oils at all in this. You could just leave it plain and it smells just fine. It's not like I'm covering a bad smell by adding essential oils. These are just a preference, and make it more fun. But so I used an oil from Young Living Essential Oils. It's called Christmas Spirit, which is orange peel, cinnamon bark, black spruce, and black spruce. So just a very like warm, wintry smell. And then in combination with this oil, it's called Stress Away, which is balsam, lime, cedarwood, vanilla, oxtail, and lavender. The smell that I really love that comes out of this is the vanilla piece of it, but the combination definitely adds to it. So that's just a nice smell. Okay, so why go to the trouble of making your own besides having the fun of doing a DIY, you know? But honestly, making time for doing DIY projects, you have to care about why you're doing them, unless it's just for fun. And so I have heard for, I don't know, it's been quite a few years. Let's say the past 5 years, somewhere along the line, I heard about the benefits of tallow for your skin. And I have wanted to experiment with using tallow more for skincare. My mom and I have made our own homemade soap for 10 plus years. But I just made our first batch with tallow as one of the main fats this summer. So again, why use tallow? So the website I had found that has just a really good description of tallow and why it's good for the skin and even how to render it. I guess I should back up. What is tallow? If you don't know, tallow is basically beef fat, although I think it can be other, like sheep also would be considered tallow. Goat have tallow as well. and basically to render it, you're taking the raw fat from the butchered animal and purifying it. So I purified my own tallow to get to this point. And you do that through a process of slowly bringing the tallow up to a heat enough to melt it in salt water. And you just, yeah, it's kind of a long process. Again, this website, Bumblebee Apothecary, has a really good description on how to do that. So I'm not going to go into all those details because that's not my thing. She does a great job, so you don't need to hear me talk about it. But basically, one of the reasons that tallow is really good for our skin is because the actual fat itself is like closest to what like our own bodies make. So it's easier for our skin to absorb, which is really cool. And I have definitely noticed a difference this fall from my normal. So I just made this like a month ago maybe. But usually this time of year, I'm starting to get really dry around my nose and on my cheeks, to the point where if I want to wear foundation, I can't because it looks all flaky and gross, or you have to really like scrub your face, you know, to get that off, to the point where you're like, okay, that's probably not helpful. So yeah, I've been really pleased with how it works. You know, as far as like, is it greasy or that kind of thing? I mean, when you first apply it, it feels much more, it's more of a wet oil, I guess, kind of feel. It could be greasy, but it absorbs quite quickly into your skin. And man, when I put it on at night and then I wake up in the morning, my skin just feels so soft that it's really cool. So it's really good for hands too. I do house cleaning for my living outside of repairing my farmhouse. And so this time of year, you know, as you're washing floors and hands in and out of water all the time, my hands can get pretty dried out, but right now they're doing pretty good. So yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, so again, looking at the farmhouse living side of things, you know, these are things that like our ancestors used. They didn't have access to all the commercial lotions and specialty products that we use today to try and keep our skins moisturized. And yet, honestly, this works better than lotions that I've ever tried. And I have had problems with dry skin for a very long time, since high school. And yeah, this is probably the best thing that I've used. So yeah, basically it's half home rendered tallow. I don't know, I haven't even looked. Maybe you can buy already rendered tallow on the internet, and you can buy pretty much anything online, so you probably could. But then I melted that down, and basically just a 1-to-1. I did 1 part tallow and 1 part of a liquid oil. So I used both olive oil and I think it was apricot oil, but just basically choosing an oil that's good for skin. So yeah, it's actually a really easy project. So if you're looking to kind of step into some of those kinds of things, it's a fun one to try. You know, if any of my family is watching this, you'll have to like plug your ears, but I may or may not be planning on making some little containers for Christmas presents. May or may not be. So, you know, I can't promise anything, but it would make a very nice gift for Christmas. So if you're looking for an easy homemade gift for someone, this would be a great one, and they would really appreciate it. So, and it's always fun to try something new. So if you hate it, you aren't going to waste a whole lot of money, but I highly doubt that you will hate it. So, but yeah, I will tag the Bumblebee Apothecary's website in the notes for this episode. So check out some of her information on why tallow is good for your skin. You know, it's high in all sorts of vitamins and different things like that. And maybe try out some of her recipes. So, All right, well, that's it for right now. I am hoping to get some work done at my house still this week too. So we'll see how that goes. The weather's supposed to be a little more moderate, so I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to get down my scaffolding this week and maybe some other things. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed learning about this. Well, hello, it's Thursday afternoon, and I think it's about 25 degrees out, so my dad and I are out here at the house today to get my scaffolding taken down and put away. That has been a goal. I might have mentioned it another week, but yeah, so hopefully it comes down easily. It's a little disconcerting just with the cold, and it's, you know, snowy on the platforms and hopefully not icy. But yeah, it's definitely not as easy as when it's dry. So just gonna try and be careful and take it slow and get it down safely. So, but yeah, it's not terribly cold. It's cold enough, but not as cold as it could be. So wanted to get it done sooner than later. So we'll see how it goes. that will cover the gap or not quite?
Probably want this way.
Yeah.
There's a little big piece sticking out. Probably if you can cock that top to the west a little when you nail
Yeah.
it. Sorry about that.
Okay, you're doing a great job supervising.
I'm real confident that I get like a dollar or two easily. This is definitely a star on here, bud. Oh, well, there's one I had wasn't.
Oh, well, where's the one that you had? Oh, up there.
Yeah. You want me to come down and do that?
No, I can switch it. It's like
The other two are Phillips. That one's a star. So there you have it.
Okay, now do I have any other stars, or is that the only one?
I don't know. See what
Those
you got
are
on your,
Phillips.
see what's on your other one. Doing this is not safe.
Yeah.
That'd be my thoughts. Then I can help you.
Okay. Well, we got done the projects we were hoping to, and nobody got hurt, so that was good. We got the scaffolding down, and then I also got plastic over this one window on the other end here. And then we got the plywood put back over that opening to the basement, so I feel good about that. All those kind of little pieces that really needed to be taken care of before winter really sets in are now done. So I'm hoping maybe this week to still get out here. I did get a new propane heater, portable propane heater. So I want to try that out and maybe do some cleanup inside the house. So we'll see. Hopefully I can do that. But at least we got done what we did today, and now the house looks finished from the outside. So yeah, it was a good day.